Hey everyone, it's Emily here. I hope you're having a beautiful day so far. Today I am so excited to share with you our backyard makeover and transformation. It's something that we have been working on over the last few months, and let me tell you, my back hurts and I am sore, but it has been so worth it. I want to say thank you to Walmart for sponsoring today's video, and I'm really excited to be able to work with them and share different items with you later on in the video. But first, we are trying to go for a little bit more of a European vibe for the backyard. We do live in a forest, and so I was trying to use that to my advantage with how I wanted the area to look. So we're using a lot of native plants and incorporating those along with some other plants that the deer, elk, and hopefully moose will leave alone, and just transform it and make it really beautiful but also functional. We started off with a very uneven ground, and so we had to do a lot of dirt work and add rocks and really utilize the area and create spaces so that we could use it instead of just having like a little pad. So I'm excited to share with you how we are transformed to the backyard and hopefully give you a lot of ideas, ways you can landscape and get the backyard of your dreams as well. Everything is going to take a little bit of time to grow in, so it's definitely going to evolve and change over the next few months, which I'm so excited to see, and we want to do a couple more improvements. That's the best part, is you can always add on, and I think in time everything just looks so beautiful when you slowly create it. So yeah, I hope you're excited for today's backyard makeover video. So let's get started. So here's a before of how our landscaping looked. It was very up and down, uneven, and sloped. It was terrible. So we really needed to get creative on how we were going to landscape our yard and actually make it usable for us, besides having like a little 10-foot area. So for this area, it sloped up. So we decided to build a small retaining wall here out of boulders. It was definitely a little bit of an expense, but compared to doing small blocks for retaining wall, this was actually better priced. We found some flat boulders that we could use as steps. They're a little uneven, but they, I think, just add to the natural look of the landscaping, and I think it just makes it really beautiful. So it was definitely a lot of work, but I'm really happy we did this because it created two separate areas for us to be able to enjoy. And then to add a border there, I'm adding some boxwood because the elk and deer do not eat it, and it stays green all year round, which aids in our beautiful European look that we're going for. I have a few more to plant, but up here where the steps are, we're going to add some grass that's a little bit more native, so it won't require too much maintenance. And then next to the house, I added some different roses for a pop of color and to give them a little bit of extra heat being next to the house, but also protect them from the animals because they will eat them. But I am excited because I think roses are so beautiful and timeless. So now we are going to decorate this little area here. I'm really excited as one of many. I found this really nice metal table on Walmart.com, and I'm so pleased with it. It was super affordable, it got great reviews, and I love that it's a solid top and that it's metal so it can stay out in the weather all winter long. And it's just a nice surface, but I love the wood grain on it, and it's really nice, great quality. And instead of using normal dining chairs, I decided to use my swivel chairs that I got on Walmart, and I've had these for years. I love them. I'll leave the set link down below. They have solid ones and swivel. Umbrellas from Walmart, as well as all the plates and cups. These are melamine, and I love them. They're really beautiful. They come in green and blue, and I decided to mix the two. I think they're just absolutely beautiful, and of course you can drop them and they ain't gonna break. So this area came together really nicely. I thought this is exactly what I was going for a little bit more European vibe. Well, then on Walmart, I found that they have a new collection of dishes, and I've been looking for some new dishes. The ones I got from Walmart years ago, about like 9-10 years ago, are finally wearing, and so I wanted to update them, and these ones I could not pass up on. They are beautiful traditional dishes, and they come in blue, green, and also a gray in case you like the color, but these are gorgeous. And of course, I'll leave everything linked down below and in the comments, so if you like anything, you can definitely grab it and get it while it's in stock. I also wanted to show you these really cute chair cushions in case you are using normal dining chairs. I just have metal ones, and so they definitely need some comfort. These are really nice, and I like the Velcro on the backing, so you just Velcro them together. It gives a little bit more leeway, but you can see the difference in how the different chairs play a huge impact on how the overall look of the space. So I'm pretty happy with the other comfy ones. Something that we did for this area was actually use a compactor on it. So the type of rock that we use is not gravel, it's more of a pit run. So it's a mix of like crushed and smaller, I would say, pea gravel in there so that you can compact it. I didn't want to use traditional gravel because it's really rough on the feet. Even when you wear sandals, you can feel it. And so I wanted to use something softer that I could build on later on, because eventually I love to do like flagstone or something around these areas to make some pathways and stuff. Just can't afford it right now, so we're sticking with something simple. The other thing we did was add this arch down below now that we have the stairs. Originally I had it up on the top and I liked it, but I think the clematis growing up at the bottom, and it's tall enough so you can still walk through it. I think it just adds a little bit more depth, and it gives me a little bit of room to play with things and add more plants, and that area is going to evolve over the next hopefully year or so. Now I wanted to switch out the rug that I have on the porch. I found this beautiful one on Walmart and I just like the color, and it just spoke to me. It kind of reminds me of the pillows that I have on the sofa, which actually matches the swivel chair, so it comes as a set or you can order them individually. But look how much more that pops on the deck. I think it's so pretty. So sometimes just a simple swap is all you need to spruce up your backyard. That's one thing that I love about Walmart, is that you can find a beautiful high-end look for an affordable price, and I have bought their stuff over the years and I'm so happy with it. The quality is wonderful on the Better Homes and Garden. They have a couple new lines out too, so I'll leave those linked down below for you. A lot of new furniture pieces, so definitely check it out. So now we're going to move on to the sides of the deck. I actually have these clematis plants that I brought with me, and I decided to try hog fencing bent around, which is really hard to bend, so I used some tall fencing to wrap around the posts and use some eye hooks to keep it away from the wood, but then the clematis can grow up the post without being on the post. I thought that'd be really pretty. And then to spruce up the deck a little bit at night, I found these two different solar light options out in Walmart, and so I decided to give the flat one a try because the other ones for post caps, they screw on, but I'm just leaving them for now, and they just add the beautiful ambiance to the deck, and you can see where the steps are. So now we are moving on to the really wide part of the backyard that has a massive slope in it, and we weren't sure what we were going to do with it, and in the end we decided to fill it with a lot of dirt. It took so much, but I'm really glad we did because it made the overall space so much bigger. Instead of just having like 10 feet away from the house, we added another like 20 feet, which was amazing. But then as we kept adding it, it just needed more and more, and we're like, this is just getting excessive. So it ended up being around the same cost to add a small retaining wall as it would have been more fill dirt. So we decided to do that, and it also breaks up the backyard. Instead of having just one big flat area, we have two areas now, and I really like it. It also adds a beautiful focal piece and accent to the yard. It just did triple duty for us. I am so happy with it. And if you're thinking about adding a retaining wall, definitely do it out of boulders. It is so pretty, because we thought about doing the retaining wall blocks, but this was just really beautiful. And now I am just adding some more boxwood to line it. It gives for that European look. They're low maintenance. They stay green all year round, which is a win-win. And when you're planting your plants, if they look like they're root bound the way this does, break it up so it encourages the roots to grow new ones, and your plant will be even healthier. Now, since we have this extra area here that's way bigger than I thought it would be, I actually decided to move the lawn chairs that were on the opposite side over here because it's actually a better spot sun-wise for it. And they're metal, they're so beautiful, and I found those on Walmart a couple weeks back, and they are beautiful. They're a great deal. To make them more comfortable, I found these cushions from Better Homes and Garden on Walmart, and I really like them. They come in lots of different colors. I chose the cream, and I like that it's a full set, and so they don't separate, but it's easy to store too, and you could take the covers off, wash them. So really pleased with this, and again, it just adds that beautiful European look that I'm going for. So behind these chairs, you can see those small green plants that I planted. They're actually puffer white hydrangeas, and they get really beautiful, but they're going to take some time. They are very small, and so I'm excited for that. It's going to, again, aid in that European look for the landscaping. And since they haven't grown in quite yet, I'm just using some faux plants to add a little bit more depth and make it look prettier. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think dressing up the space so everything grows in is a nice addition. I will say we thought about adding grass to the lower level, but then it just becomes more maintenance, and we're trying to do a very low maintenance yard. And every plant that I'm planting is going to be on drip, and then the grass that we have on the other area is more of a native shade grass. So once it gets established, you only have to water about once a week, which is wonderful. So right now, in the initial stages of everything being planted, it does look a little bit bare, but everything's going to fill in and widen, and it's just going to completely change the look of the landscaping. I will say all the plants that I am putting here are deer and elk proof. They do not like the Russian sage. They don't like the catnip. They definitely tested this out over the years. It's been a lot of trial and error seeing what they like and what they don't, because just because the tag says resistant doesn't mean anything to them. They like to taste everything, but they don't like salvia and stuff, and so I'm very comfortable putting these out here, and in time it's going to be so beautiful. What are some of your favorite flowers that you love to have in your landscaping? I think peonies are really beautiful, but I really wanted some flowers that are going to bloom all season long and not just once in the season. I was able to dig up some wild Shasta daisies out of the yard so I could use those throughout, and that was nice, so I could get a couple plants for free. And then I ended up getting all this small border rock out of the yard. So again, trying to find different ways that I could save a little bit of money, because everything adds up. Plants are getting really expensive now. And so every green area that you see in the background behind me, those are thimbleberries. They require no maintenance. They grow just native here, and they are so pretty. They die down in the winter, but they grow a berry that looks like a raspberry, but it's so delicate and they're sweet. And so it's nice to have that down there. And so it makes a beautiful backdrop, but also we get wonderful fruit out of it. So I'm excited to see how this area has transformed. I decided to do bark instead of just having all the gravel everywhere. I thought it would make a nice accent and just be really pretty, and it smells really good too. So I'm really excited. My plants just got delivered, which I have never ordered plants online before. Bought quart sizes because they were like 20 or 25% off. So I bought those sizes. Gallons were like 10 or 15% off. And to save money, I was like, okay, I'll just buy the quart sizes. And I was thinking in my mind, the quart size like this. But now that I see the boxes, I think it's going to be smaller ones. Because I don't think this is a gallon container. Even though when I think of mason jars, that's a quart size. So let's open up these boxes and see what we got. This is just for plants. I don't know. We're going to find out. Nope. I think they are the smaller ones, which I wasn't expecting. It's fine. Confirms my miscalculation in the size of the potted plants. So, yeah, I'm not sure how much of a better deal this is now. I did save money. To landscape this hillside, I didn't want to take out all the native plants, and when we took it out, I didn't know what was really growing there. It was more of like a Oregon berry and stuff, and I didn't really like those. So I took those out, and now I'm planting some ground cover, and I'm planting lilacs. They're ever-blooming lilacs. And so I'm excited to have those. They're very small. They're only quart size right now, but they will grow in about 3 to 6 feet tall and wide, which is wonderful. And I'll just add a pop of color behind me here. and I decided to do a row of pink and then a row of purple, and then we actually added an apple tree back there. If you haven't tried using a dolly to move boulders around, it works really well, so definitely give that a try. Your back will be very happy with you. Putting these rocks here to kind of create an area for the dirt to fill in. I am going to add some strawberries on the hill because it gets tons of sun. I'm not sure if I want to leave the thimbleberries that are starting to grow in or take them out, so we're just going to see. I don't want them to shade my lilacs, so this will be a work in progress area, but we can only improve it, right? So this area here, I had it planned to be like our fire pit s'more area, and so that's what I'm setting back up. I found a couple logs and an old piece of wood that I could make into a bench, sort of like a tabletop in a sense too, and then put our fire ring back there, and then put our Adirondack chairs. I found those on Walmart years ago, and they've done really well holding up, and they've been out in the weather for I don't know, 4 years now, and they've done fantastic. I did get a couple solar lights for the landscaping. These ones are really nice. They're metal, and then they have a glass bulb that screws off so you can turn it on, and then they will turn on when it gets dark at night, and they are really nice. You can keep them short or tall, but I think it looks really beautiful. So how do you think we did on our backyard makeover? From the before to the after, I'm so happy with the difference. Let me know what your favorite part is. I am just so happy with the progress we have made, and continue to evolve it. Hopefully maybe we'll do an outdoor kitchen or something next year. I don't know, that'd be amazing. But I hope you've been inspired from seeing our backyard makeover today and the different landscaping ideas. I hope it helps you out. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and everything will be linked in the description box below for you and in the comments. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and to get even more inspiration, check out these videos here. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.